Scotland is being very, Scottish today. Or as the Scots people like to say, there is much enthusiasm in the weather. Yeah, I've been in Edinburgh, Scotland for the better part of a year, and I have come to the following conclusion about the weather here. It's not the cold, and it's not the wet. Don't get me wrong, it is cold and wet, but for the cold, you just bundle up or go back inside. And the wet is never really a torrential downpour. It's more of just an omnipresent damp. And yes, I am aware that the east coast of Scotland is relatively sheltered, whereas the west coast of Scotland relatively suffers from Arctic monsoons. But where I am anyway, it's not the cold and the wet, it's the wind. You see, when the air is still, it's not that bad. It mostly just feels minty. But when the wind blows, it all goes sideways. Literally all the cold and all the moisture goes right inside your body, like Slimer going through Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. It is, bracing to say the least. And I say that wearing 21st century apparel. I can't imagine what it must have been like here 1,000 years ago. Did the Celts and the Picts not know about Spain? But then you remember this place has a heavy Viking influence. And if you were from Norway 1,000 years ago and set foot in Scotland, you were probably like, oh, it's so hot here, I've got to take off my walrus pelt and this hat I made from the skull of my vanquished enemies. Anyway, I needed to take my glove off to manipulate the buttons on my phone in order to make this video, and now this hand is completely numb. Oh, how we suffer for our art.